For centuries, people have struggled to understand the relationship between existence and non-existence, often believing that having more, wealth, success, knowledge, equates to a better life, while lacking something is seen as a disadvantage. But Laozi, in the Tao Te Ching, challenges this common perception, stating, "These two emerge together but have different names. Together, they are called the profound." This suggests that existence and non-existence are not opposites, but two aspects of the same reality, inseparable and equally valuable. Yet in a world obsessed with gaining, few truly understand the hidden power of letting go. A young girl, caught in the same dilemma as many before her, approaches a wise sage with a question. If non-existence is just as important as existence, then what role does it play in our lives? What follows is a conversation that will challenge her assumptions and reveal the unexpected, wisdom hidden in loss, emptiness, and the unseen.
Wise one, Laozi said, "These two emerge together but have different names. Together, they are called the profound." He meant that existence and non-existence are actually one and the same, just expressed differently. But in real life, everyone seeks existence, wealth, status, success, while avoiding non-existence, thinking that poverty, failure, and loss are bad. If existence and non-existence are equally important, how can non-existence possibly have value?
You are confused because you assume that existence is always good and non-existence is always meaningless. But have you considered that sometimes non-existence is the key to truly achieving existence? Today, I will tell you 3 stories that will break the trap of common sense. Story 1. The wisdom of an empty bowl. Once, a poor scholar visited a Zen master. When he entered the master's room, he noticed it was nearly empty, just a teapot and a few cups. Surprised, he asked, "Master, why do you own so little? Doesn't such emptiness make life inconvenient?" The Zen master didn't answer. Instead, he poured tea into a cup and asked, "If this cup were already full, could I pour more tea into it?" Scholar, shaking his head, "No, if it's full, nothing more can fit." Zen master, smiling, "Exactly. Only when something is empty can it receive more. If your mind is already full of attachments, biases, and desires, how can you take in new wisdom and opportunities? You think existence is the most important, but without non-existence, how can you ever grow?" Scholar, realizing, "So because the room is empty, it has more space. Because the mind is free, it can receive wisdom." Exactly. Non-existence is not nothingness. It is the space that allows existence to take shape. This is the secret of how the two are connected.
But in reality, we still need existence, money, career, family. Can non-existence really bring benefits?
Listen to another story. The farmer who sold his donkey. A farmer had a donkey that helped him plow his fields. One day, someone offered to buy the donkey. The farmer hesitated, but eventually sold it. His neighbors mocked him. "You fool! Without a donkey, how will you farm?" The farmer just smiled and said nothing. A few days later, bandits raided the village and stole all the donkeys. The villagers wailed in regret, but the farmer, who had already sold his donkey, had nothing to lose and kept his money.
So, his lack of a donkey actually became his greatest gain?
Yes, many people believe that possessions are always an asset, but sometimes losing something is actually the greatest fortune.
Then, does that mean we should actively give up certain existence to gain greater freedom and possibilities?
Exactly. People fear losing things, but sometimes loss is the beginning of something better.
I'm starting to understand. But can you give me one last example that's even more surprising?
All right, one last story. The invisible bridge. Two merchants needed to cross a vast river. One carried a heavy load of gold and silver, while the other carried nothing. A ferryman told them, "There is an invisible bridge across the river, but you must trust that it exists." The first merchant didn't believe him. He thought an invisible bridge was a scam and decided to find another way. He searched for a solid crossing, but found none. Trapped at the riverbank, his wealth was useless. The second merchant, though afraid, chose to trust. He stepped forward, and to his amazement, the invisible bridge held firm beneath his feet. He walked across and reached a prosperous land on the other side.
This is just like life. People refuse to trust in the possibilities that non-existence offers, and they stay stuck in the same place.
Exactly. Sometimes what allows you to move forward is not what you have, but your willingness to embrace the unknown. If you are obsessed with what is tangible, you may never take the step that leads to true success.
So, Laozi's words about existence and non-existence being one don't mean we should abandon existence, but rather that we should recognize the value of non-existence.
Exactly. In reality, if you only chase existence, you will be trapped by it. If you understand how to use non-existence, you will find true freedom. Non-existence gives you space to grow, like an empty bowl that can receive new wisdom and opportunities. Non-existence helps you let go of unnecessary burden, like the farmer who sold his donkey and avoided disaster. Non-existence allows you to trust in the unseen possibilities, like the merchant who believed in the invisible bridge and crossed to a better life.
I see. True wisdom isn't about clinging to existence or rejecting it completely. It's about knowing when to cherish, when to let go, and when to embrace the possibilities that non-existence brings.
You are beginning to understand the Tao. The true mystery of the universe lies in seeing beyond common sense, to grasp the deeper truth.
Thank you, wise one. I now know what I must do.
Go and live your life embracing both existence and non-existence.
As their conversation came to an end, the young girl sat in deep reflection. She had always believed that to gain is to succeed and to lose is to fail. But the sage had shown her another perspective, that absence can create space, that letting go can lead to freedom, and that the unseen can hold the greatest potential. Laozi's words no longer felt abstract or mysterious. He now understood that existence and non-existence are not opposites, but complementary forces, like a bowl that is useful because of its emptiness, like a bridge that can only be crossed by trusting what cannot be seen. The sage smiled as he observed the young girl's change in understanding. True wisdom, he said, is knowing when to hold on and when to let go, when to seek and when to trust. When you embrace both existence and non-existence, you will find balance and freedom. With a newfound sense of clarity, the young girl stood up. She was no longer afraid of losing, nor obsessed with possessing. Instead, she was ready to walk the path of the Tao, not chasing, not resisting, but flowing effortlessly with the natural rhythm of life.